Section 11.01, the second one is Section 11.02, and now Section point 1103, this says gender except where a bona fide occupational requirement exists. The use in this master agreement or in supplemental agreement of the masculine pronoun shall refer to either sex. And it said, then it mentions also for arbitration, here we go, grievance. Should any misunderstanding or grievance arise, an earnest effort shall be made to settle the matter promptly in the following manner. By conference between the employees with or without the shop steward and the immediate supervisor, if no settlement is reached within 3 working days after the grievance has been thus submitted, then the matter shall be referred to. Which is saying, I was supposed to pretty much, is the conference, if it's a conference, that means I was supposed to have been, present for the conference, which is my grievance hearing.
Right.
Then it says, conference between the shop steward and the employee's respective department and the head department and the department head with or without the employee's immediate supervisor. No grievance will be adjusted beyond the first step outlined above unless the union has first been notified of such grievance and has been given the opportunity to be present at the adjustment, which is stating I'm supposed to be present,
right,
to acknowledge what's going on. If no settlement is reached within 5 working days after such reference, then it says the matter shall be referred to the next monthly meeting of the Labor Relations Committee, including the plant manager and the HR manager, along with the top local officer or their designee, which is me. If no settlement is reached upon the conclusion of the following labor relations meeting, it shall at request of either party be referred to arbitration in accordance with the provisions of Article 9.
So did your case go to arbitration? Or?
Well, for one, again, when I contacted my union rep and I stated to him, hey, I am to be present. I have the right to be present during my grievance hearing. He then stated to me, well, General Mills don't want you on their property, and I'm not going to argue with you or General Mills, so you're going to have to wait until I contact you and let you know what happened. So I found that out because how is it, this happened towards me. I have the right to be there to see what accusations is being placed towards me.
Is your union rep?
My union rep told me this over the phone. So then, the 10th of October, I didn't receive a phone call from my union rep. I received a phone call from my union steward, and he then stated to me, well, I fought for you hard, and it's a big if they're going to bring you back, but they're kind of saying that if they do decide to bring you back, that you have to take anger management classes and you have to do drug testing for a whole year. And I'm like, but mind you, in my grievance, I stated if you bring me back and evidently if you're going to bring me back, that means you guys found out that you wrongfully terminated me. So I should come back, get my job back, and be made whole again. So you guys should be able to pay me since you fired me because I'm able to work. I'm not disabled. Right. I could have worked the hours that were given, and it stated I was supposed to be made whole again. So then that's when he told me. He said, well, it's again, like I said, it's a big if they're going to give you your job back. And as far as you getting your money back, that's not going to happen because you left a voicemail, a threatening voicemail. So I then told him, I said, but if it states in my grievance, if I get my job back and everything, that shows that, they realize that they wrongfully terminated me. I need to be made whole again. So then he told me, he said, do you want your job back? Let me know now because that way I call them right now and tell them that if you don't want your job. I said, hold on, I never said nothing. I said, I want my job back, but I want to be made whole again because, this is ridiculous. They fired me for something that had nothing to do with General Mills' business. I said, so I want my job back, but I want my job back and be made whole again. So then that's when he stated to me, he said, well, I'm going to tell you what, you handled it your way, I'm done with it, and hung up.
Your union rep?
My union steward.
Okay.
So then I'm like, And I'm shocked because he just hung up. So I'm like, you know what? This is crazy now. You guys I pay you guys union dues to, represent me, and safeguard me. But it seems like I'm paying you guys union dues and you guys are safeguarding General Mills. So all of a sudden, a few days ago, because I've been trying to get in contact with my union rep, and he, I wasn't able to reach him. So then he called me, and then he stated to me, he said, well, what's going to occur is November 22nd at 9:30 a.m. you are to report down to the union hall because we're gonna decide whether or not we're gonna allow this to go to arbitration. That's what he stated to me. So I said, so what's going on? Am I going to be able to get my job back? He said, at the grievance hearing, General Mills said they do not want you on their property and they do not want you back.
In your grievance hearing.
At my grievance hearing. So then I said, so if they don't want, what's supposed to occur on the 22nd? He said, well, we're going to try to review everything and decide whether or not we're going to allow it to go to arbitration. So you are to be here at 9:30, November 22nd, 2013. So I said, okay. And then he said, well, I got to go, Mr. Pabon. I got a lot of things to do, and he hung up. So I'm like, all right. So now I'm sitting, and I'm having to wait now till November 22nd to figure if this is going to go to arbitration, because now this is, twice I done heard they fired me already. Now by my grievance hearing, which I was supposed to have been there, and what kills me is my union rep should have told them, well, since you guys don't want Mr. Pabon on your property, why don't we just have the grievance hearing here at the union hall. Exactly. That way, he could be present for this because he has the right to be here. They didn't even do that. They didn't even try to fight to try to get it to where I was supposed to be there. When I called him before the grievance hearing and I stated to him, I have the right to be there and I really want to be there. So I can know what is being charged against me.
Right.
And he got mad with me. And it seems like my union rep.
Okay.
And it seems like when I first met him, we was on cool terms. But then every time when I would try to contact him to get insight on something, he would get all agitated and upset. And I'm like, why are you upset when you supposed to be representing me? Not just that, before you went to that grievance hearing, I wrote out and sent you with the policy and everything showing you how they wrongfully terminated me. And you didn't even represent that for me when you was there at my grievance hearing, because if you did, I'd be having my job back, because they state again that I violated the workplace the workplace policy, correct? Now let me read to you what's in their policy. For one, on page 6 in the union policy, it says plant rules and regulations. Okay. It says the following is a partial listing of general plant rules and regulations needed to ensure efficient production and to safeguard the health, safety, and welfare of all employees. The following actions are prohibited at this plant and where necessary will be enforced through disciplinary action up to and including termination.
Right.
Okay? In there it states fighting or threatening bodily injury to another person on company property. Mind you, I wasn't on company property. I wasn't on y'all time. I was at my home on my phone. They called me pretty much during my time on my phone, which I pay for. Not General Mills. I work for my money to pay my bills.
Right.
This isn't a General Mills phone that they issue to me. Also, on page 10, it says respectful treatment and harassment-free workplace. Now, mind you, they said I disrespected the workplace policy. It says we are fortunate to work for a company that will not tolerate harassment of any employee based on sex, race, color, religion, national origin, age, sexual orientation, gender, identification, or other characteristics protested by law or corporate policy. Anyone who cannot support this core value should choose to work elsewhere. Behavior that results in harassing another employee could result in disciplinary action up to and including termination. It said harassing another employee. I did not harass an employee. I didn't get into it with an employee. I got into it with an employee's girlfriend.
Right.
On page 12, it says workplace violence. General Mills is committed to providing a safe, secure work environment for its employees and to helping prevent violence, threats, or intimidating actions by or against any GMI employee or visitor on or off GMI premises while engaged in GMI business. Mind you, I didn't regard any of this in regard to GMI business because I made my statement in regard to the threats and everything that she made towards me and my family.
Right.
And it says General Mills may, in its sole direction, conduct pre-employment criminal background investigations before extending an offer of employment or make an offer of employment contingent upon the results of a criminal background check. So if you guys are trying to fire me and looking at it if I'm some bad person, you did a background check. I've never been to jail. Okay, my background is clean. Before I came to General Mills, again, I stated I've done security, and I was working for Nature's Bounty, which is the #1 vitamin supplement company, and do a background screening. Not just that, before you hired me, you did a background screening, and you see that my background is clean. So when I came to you guys and informed you of what occurred, to avoid, my relief trying to come and retaliate against me because I got into it with his girlfriend.
Right.
I was trying to avoid issues. Now, it also says remove immediately any company visitor or employee who threatens or commits an act of violence on GMI premises. Again, I wasn't on your property. I was at my home, and my relief, his girlfriend, was at her home.
On your own cell phone.
On our own cell phones.